Hi there, welcome to our online health and wellness expo. Today we are having a chat with Julie. Julie and I have met through the Venus Women's Network, and I wanted to interview Julie today because she owns her own fitness business. So welcome, Julie. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good, having a great day. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself so that people that have never met you before can get to know you a bit better?
Absolutely. So I'm Julie, and I've been running Julie in Fitness for the past 5 or 6 years. I started off doing postnatal exercise classes and pregnancy exercise classes. At the time, I'd had my first child, Kobe, and was trying to find out information about exercise from professionals, and I couldn't really sort of find much information, surprisingly, and my midwife didn't really give me a lot of information, and a lot of people said just stop, and I didn't think that was right, because to me you're going to go through the biggest workout of your life, actually giving birth and getting so that was one of the reasons I really wanted to get into pregnancy and postnatal exercise, just so that I could educate other women about what they can do, what they can't do, and make it easy for them. I also had been a runner all my life, and I worked at Bailey's Real Estate and had a few of my friends that I used to go running with at lunchtimes, and a couple of them never thought that they'd be running in their life. I just dragged them along for lunchtime fitness. Anyway, them and a few other friends kind of gang up on me back then and said that I'd be doing this as a job, because I was really good at training people and I was really passionate about helping people get fit and active. At that time, I'd also been going through some health stuff with dermatitis and eczema, and I'd been really focused on my nutrition for that. I'd been to a naturopath and found out that I had a dairy allergy, and so if I cut out all my dairy and focused on eating well, then I could fix my eczema from the inside out. And that was one of my big focuses, not only with helping my eczema and dermatitis, but also with my running, because of course the better you eat, the better you can run. And I was doing marathons, half marathons, etc. So I was really focused on my fitness. So I sort of started training people around maybe 10 years ago, just over that. And over that time, between my 2 children, I ended up becoming qualified as a trainer and doing my pregnancy postnatal papers. Eventually, after my second child, Sasha, that's when I started the postnatal exercise classes and pregnancy. And I ended up getting quite a lot of people behind me who I've still got as clients, some of them today. And that really started the ball rolling for me of being in the fitness industry in Cambridge. It is where it's about who you know a lot of the time, and people can see the people that I've trained, the results that they're getting. So really, I like to focus on not only your outsides, but your insides. And I suppose that's where I'm a bit different to other trainers who are all about image. I'm more about wellness. So focusing on making sure that they are healthy for life, for a long life, because really my philosophy is everyone should exercise no matter what. If you can't use your legs, use your arms. There's ways around all of the different types of people can have. Another big reason that I'm into my health as well as my fitness is my father passed away in 2018 of a heart attack, and he was unwell for a number of years, but that really affected me a lot personally, and it gave me more of a push, I think, because I want to help people. I didn't want people to see people go through what he went through. And to me, that was really, really important. And that's now, since he's passed, given me a big focus to continue helping people, especially people who feel like they can't walk into a normal gym. That's why I love my space that I'm in, because it's a private space in my own home. I've got 2 spaces now, one space that people can use like a normal gym, coming and going, and another space that's my personal training area. And I can have those people that don't want to go into a gym and be surrounded with a bunch of people, feel intimidated, feel like they don't look the part. I have people coming in their work clothes to work out. I don't really care what you're wearing as long as you can move and as long as you're turning up. So accountability is huge to me, which is why I suppose it works in my business, because I'm on people's cases and I'm not scared to do that, because I know what people are like. Humans try and get out of things.
Absolutely, absolutely. We totally do, don't we? We're our own worst enemies when it comes to looking after ourselves. It's too easy to take the easy road and just, I can't be bothered today, nobody's watching. So, that accountability side, having somebody else watching over you or tapping you on the shoulder is certainly something that's really, really worthwhile. It's interesting, isn't it, that your passion is really driven by the health journey you saw your dad go through. I think a lot of people that end up in the health and wellness industry are often driven by their own health journey, and even beginnings for you. You started training people because you were just dragging them out there because you love to run, and then when you were going through your own pregnancy and everything, it was your own desire to keep your body healthy and what you're doing that made you learn about exercise for pregnancy, and then postpartum, how you actually continue to move your body and continue to look after it through that space. So yeah, I think it's really interesting hearing people's stories about how they actually then became so passionate in this space to help other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very important to me. I think the longer we can look after ourselves, the longer we'll live a healthy life. I don't like seeing people live a long, unhealthy life. I like to see people life, and people can change their old school habits if they really want to. To me, it takes lots of small steps often, because then in the long term, those small steps make a huge difference. Just simply doing things like cutting out sugar, which sounds like a really big, hard thing, but actually when you know what alternatives you can have, it's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Or so much better, not just with being able to do workouts, but also in your day-to-day life, being able to work, being able to sleep. There's so many benefits to just cutting out some of those sorts of things, and moving you much better after you've done a workout. You might not feel like doing it afterwards. You get the endorphins, you feel on top of the world. You feel like you can manage your day so much easier. You sleep better at night. There's so many benefits to exercise. And I feel like this time that we've been put in now, where we've all got to stay at home, is a really good time to refocus on our own health. So I'm so glad that you're doing this, because it's really important to get this message across. And now people are at home. They haven't got as much to do. A lot of people, there are still people out there working their asses off for us at home, to keep us well. But it's a really good time to reassess everything and start to put some of those things in process, like making proper meals from scratch, like getting out every morning and going for a walk, or doing your exercises at home at a certain time each day, or just getting into those really good habits, so that when we do go back into normal life, however long away that is, we can keep doing those habits, and we keep growing our vegetables, we can keep active, can sort of how great we feel coming out of this, and hopefully a lot of us will come out of it feeling a lot better if we do the right things.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. There's so much that, it's like, I can't really fit that in at the moment because I've got to get the kids off to school and do these different things. So then, your 1 hour of taking yourself for a walk each morning gets put on hold, and it's like, I'll do that later, and then it never happens that day. But we've actually not really got those excuses now. And, even if it's just, even for me, my own health journey and trying to get my body moving, I went from, crazy, highly competitive space of, well, if I'm doing it hard, fast, better than, I was on my own worst enemy with those sorts of things. But my journey has taken me to exactly what you're saying, is looking after my wellness so that I can be healthy through my life. And that's far more important for me, to be able to walk the dog, shoot hoops with the kids, have a healthy body. It doesn't have to be an athletic body. It doesn't have to have a 20-year-old physique in my 40s. Like there's that sort of stuff. My journey helped me reframe my health, and I think that's why I love people that do fitness the way that you do it, where you do look at people and you say to them, actually, you know what, you actually need to sort out what's going on and going into your body as much as what you're doing physically with it. Because the results, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for physically if your body's full of inflammation because of the type of food you're eating. So I think it's really important, and this is just the perfect time for us to actually work on those positive things that we can do in our daily life, however little they are, to improve our fitness and our mobility, and like you say, what we're eating. Just get back to basics. How cool is that?
Yep, I know, so cool. Like people, of course, now planting their veggie gardens and, you know, getting the flowers and all the, you know, flour, baking flour, all of those sorts of things to make your own food at home. So you know what's going into your food. You're not eating as much processed food. Looking
right.
at other ways, you know, of doing all of these sorts of things to make food last longer. It's so that we're not going out, because, you know, the more you go out, the more chance that you could catch this horrible virus that's going around the world. So even now it's more important to look after ourselves and look after our family, look after your immune system.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally look after your immune system.
Yeah, because if anyone catches this, you want to have a good immune system. That's where it's important, like Shona mentioned at our previous meeting that we had, to actually not go too hard on the coffee, not go too hard on the sugar or the alcohol, all of these things that we think, oh cool, we're at home, we can drink a box of beer or not, whatever. Actually, we should be doing the opposite, to look after ourselves. So if we do end up contracting it, that we can fight it off much easier and much quicker.
That's right.
Yeah, and the whole, that's really what a lot of people are fearing, is that they are not going to be able to do that, you know. But good, healthy immune system and are feeling good within ourselves. That's number one, really important.
Yeah, and look out. You know, the best thing we can do is move and, you know, get out and be outside and enjoy sunshine, even if it's in your own backyard. If you don't feel like you can get out and walk around in the streets where you live, you can still get outside in the sunshine, get your feet in the grass, and just get some sunshine, get that vitamin D into our bodies, because all of those things just help boost our immune system. Just having, you know, moving our bodies a little bit, eating good food, having a positive mindset around that stuff really, really helps.
And we're lucky we're in a country in New Zealand, if you're watching in New Zealand, we're in a country, get out, there's so many green areas. So get out and go for a walk each day, get a bit of that sunshine, so that you can keep well and get that vitamin D for a good immune system. We're very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. So Julie, with your business, like you're obviously, you know, like in the normal world before COVID came along, generally you would have one-on-one sessions or group sessions. How did you run your business before we decided that we needed to go and spend some time in our homes and with our families?
So I was doing one-on-ones.
Yep.
I'm ones, but via FaceTime or Zoom or Hangouts or WhatsApp. Which is actually, it's not been too bad, because I did try and prepare a little bit with my clients to have some weights at home. I've got a huge weights. I've got so many weights and equipment. So I've lent out Swiss balls, yoga mats. I've lent out weights to my clients so that I can do those one-on-ones with them at home. And I was doing group classes as well. I was doing a number of group classes each week. Julie's Fit Camp, I call them.
Cool.
Of course, doing that from my home. So now I'm doing them online. I've got a group that I've set up, and I record the class or do it live, depending. And so we record the class, and people can do it in their own time, within the time that they would normally do it. So say if I've still got a couple of clients, like a nurse that's still working, and doctors still working and that sort of thing, that will do it at the times they used to do it, because that was the time that suited them best. They can still do that. Or if people are at home, they can do it now, you know, in their own time. And I like people to put a little message up to keep them accountable, to say that they've done it as well, and, you know, give me their feedback. So I've done that once, and next week I'll be doing 2 classes. And so every week after that, we'll be doing 2 classes a week, where me and my sister and my kids might join in. We'll instruct the class, and then people can follow it. So that's how I've adapted at this stage. I've got my Parkinson's group as well. I run a Counterpunch Parkinson's group or a Movers and Shakers Parkinson's group, so two groups a week. And we've got a nationwide group that we've created, Lisa from Counterpunch, that they have a daily class at 10 o'clock. So every day she's doing a class, and as of next week, a different instructor in the country will be doing a class. So I'm doing a class a week for that, to keep all of our Parkinson's people active, because the scary thing I think coming into this for them is they all rely on being active to keep moving because of their condition. If stop, then they go downhill and they can't talk properly, they can't walk properly, they can't move properly. Everything changes in their bodies. So it's really important for them to keep active. So that was one of my fears, was their conditions going backwards from being in isolation. So Lisa's created this nationwide group, which we've been able to keep in contact with them. And I see all my people coming on regularly to do that. For the ones that don't have Facebook, because they are all older generation, or a lot of them are the older generation, I've done a home plan. So I've made up a whole lot of home plans for them and for my PT clients that don't want to do the video sessions, to follow at home themselves. So they've got 2 or 3 plans at home that they'll do themselves, and again they'll message me when they've done that to keep that accountability going.
That's awesome.
So sort of where I'm at this stage with what I was currently doing and what I'm going to be doing moving forward for the next 4 to however many weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course I've lost business in a way, because I'm not going to be training as many people face to face, but hopefully the ones that I have still got coming and the classes will keep going along and everything will be ticking along really nicely. And doing this and doing a lot of the other things that I can to motivate people at home will help with that as well. So, but in the end, I just want to keep people moving, because my clients I've had moving and they've got the strength now, they've got the flexibility, they're feeling really good. And it'll be like starting from scratch, because you lose your muscle so quickly. So hopefully I can keep encouraging them to keep moving throughout this time, so that when we do come back to face again, we're not backward from where we were. So
that sounds really awesome. Sounds like you've very quickly adapted as best you can to maintain those connections with as many people and as many clients as you've got that you can. Obviously you can't manage to adapt for everybody's needs, but that's really fantastic, especially with the Parkinson's group. That's really, really awesome. Like, it's the older generation that you do worry about, that are used to having needing to get out and move or go and congregate, because that's what they're used to doing, and that must be difficult for them to be staying at home and in isolation. Like my mum is in a little retirement village living on her own, and I worry about her a little bit, just because she's on her own. We still WhatsApping with her all the time and those sorts of things, and she's so fit and healthy. She's just getting out and doing laps in and around every single different direction to get her sort of 12,000 steps in every day. So she's doing awesome with those sorts of things. But there's certainly a lot of other people in her retirement village that, they used to do group exercise sessions in their community hall, and they're not doing those things now. And so they're just sitting at home.
Yeah, walking with their walking groups, those sorts of people as well, going out and playing your croquet, any of the sport they used to do with other people. And I think that's what worries me, is the older people who are scared about walking outside because of this virus, so they're just staying inside. And hopefully we can keep a lot of those sorts of people active and keep them motivated.
Yeah. Well, even if each and every one of us at least makes sure anyone that we know, that we call them and we encourage them just even to go out and wander around their back garden and do half a dozen or a dozen laps every single day, or up and down their driveway, just to make sure that they keep moving their bodies and that they too get that outside fresh air and the sunshine and all of those sorts of things, because it's so important for the older people as well as the younger people, the babies, everybody, absolutely everybody. Yeah.
Stretching for people, making sure they're stretching, because injuries come from when they can't quite do things quick enough and they end up tearing things, breaking, perhaps falling. So stretching is really important as well.
Yeah,
Your camera's gone quite hazy. It kind of looks like you're in
It might be because the sunshine's coming in the window. Here we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. I can see you again now. I didn't know if the haze was just across the screen, so thanks for that. That's a lot better. Yeah, no, look, I think we need to make sure we're just looking after the older people that are in our lives and touching base with them to make sure that they're staying in a healthy space, like you say, stretching their bodies and also staying in a positive mindset, because it can be pretty lonely when they're in isolation and don't have connection with people. So that's a really big tip there. So yeah, you've adapted. You've managed to keep things moving. Obviously not at the same capacity as normal, but that's really neat to hear. And so, if other people that are hearing this were keen to be able to connect with you, do you have spaces to be able to start doing classes with people or one-on-one sessions with people, if they wanted to connect with you online at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have got quite a lot of space at the moment, and because my hubby's at home, because I do have another wee baby. I've got Kobe, who's 11, Sasha, who's 8, and then I had another baby just under 6 months ago. So I have got a little baby to look after as well. But luckily, my husband's at home, so I have got more flexibility to definitely do things to help people. Absolutely. And I've got my Facebook group for the Fit Camp as well, if people wanted to get.
Great.
And so people are more than welcome to do that. I've asked, instead of my normal charge for Fit Camp, because it's a situation where I know people are going to be looking out for money, I've just asked for a donation per class. So that people can sort of do it as they want, and it's not going to break the bank. Maybe $10 for 10 classes, you know, whatever people can afford, because at the moment I know that everyone's going to be tight. So I'm not charging. My normal cost is $10 a session, but I'm just going to ask for a donation for the classes. And then my PT sessions are the same rate, because it's a minute by minute, so $1 a minute. So 30 minute session is $30. 45 minute session.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. That's really awesome, and really neat that your boot camp one that you're doing, if people give you a donation, that's really terrific. Because, like you say, it's all about making sure people are moving. So, seeing as that you've got your little 6 months off, I've certainly seen a few photos of her planking on the ground next to you and getting into the fitness with you. Have you got maybe some tips that I'm sure there's plenty of young mums out there that are even before all of this that are at home that maybe don't know how to move their bodies? Is there some guides or anything like that around them getting their bodies going again? Like, I certainly know my body took a long time to get going again after a couple of pregnancies. And yeah, had I known you back then, I'd probably be in a better situation than I was a year or two ago. Have you got some tips or something like that you'd like to share for people maybe in that demographic?
I think just doing a few exercises a day and starting off slow, not sort of expecting that you can go on and do a whole lot of crunches really quickly. You want to really build your inner core muscles up. So by doing things just like simple leg lowers or sort of leg slides, where you're lying on your back and you're sliding your leg out, helps to build up that internal core, because we've got this core, which is your ab area, but actually you want to build the internal core area up as well. We did do the plank challenge, which we've done this month. We're nearly at 5 minute planking. And actually, to be honest, that's been massive. Like I myself had been getting back into exercise quite a lot after having Aaliyah, my third baby, but doing the plank challenge has really toned me up a lot quicker and helped my strength a lot quicker. So it's just, we've been doing that every day. It's just doing a little bit every day. That's really, really important. And walking. I think walking, just getting out and going for a half-hour walk a day, works wonders for getting back into exercise. It's low impact. And to start off, you don't want to do things high impact. You need to look after your pelvic floor. You need to look after your boobs, because, your boobs fall from breastfeeding. So I just saying, the breastfeeding, double bra. It's so important to do when you're exercising while breastfeeding. So, but just really doing things gently, starting off back. If you're like me, I was doing quite heavy weights. before I got pregnant, I was actually running and training to do an ultra marathon. I was training to do around the Ruapehu trail runs. Is
that the Ring of Fire or something like that?
Yeah, I was training to do the Ring of Fire. So I was up to 5.5 hours running when I felt pregnant. And unfortunately, of course, I didn't do that. I chose my baby. But that was really interesting times, because going from being like that to being pregnant again, especially from having such a big gap between my kids, I knew my body would change a lot, and it has. But instead of really worrying about that, just knowing that it'll take time to get back to where you were. It took me 8 years to get there. And, you know, it could take a long time again, but not to rush it, because you don't need to rush it. It's better that you do it slowly and in a controlled manner, so that you don't injure yourself or do any damage to your pelvic floor. I think if you do get into anything too quickly, especially while you're breastfeeding, you can injure yourself quite badly, because you've still got a lot of relaxin in your body. So another reason, just to take it really slowly, and not rush into it. That's probably the best advice that I can give. But move, go out for walks, go out for bike rides, just move. You do get breastfeeding start, you do sit down a lot because you have to. But it's better for your mind if you can get out and walk. And actually walking with the baby in the pram, they love it. They fall asleep. They love it. So it's good for them as well. It's good for them to see different things out, and, you know, and sort of, and relax in that sense. So,
yeah, no, they're great tips, Julie. Absolutely great tips. I didn't get much guidance with that. I was just told that after a single baby, it takes your body sort of 9 months really for all of that relaxin to really come back, and that can be even slower if you're breastfeeding through that time. And then my second pregnancy was twins, so you know, my obstetrician said, look, you're 18 months. It's going to take you twice as long to pull back. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. I went to the same weight, and my belly was the same size with 2 in it versus 1. But, you know, true story, it really did. It was like 16 to 18 months before I could start beginning to run again after having my second and third together, versus about 9 or 10 months with my first. So yeah, it's definitely about going slow. And I don't think now, looking back, that I went slow enough. I was like, right, I'm back into it. So, and I've subsequently paid for that. But yeah, going slow and moving is super important indeed. So I might sort of start wrapping it up a bit now, but I loved your plank challenge. I thought that's a really, really cool idea for absolutely anybody to do. So maybe what I'll do is get your little plank challenge graphic off you, and we will pop that in the comments underneath this video, so that then people can download that little plank challenge and do that. You know, we're home for a month. It's a 28-day challenge. Why not start today? That could be a really neat thing, and everyone can do it. The family can join in, husbands, wives, everybody. It's like, look, let's just do this and do it together and have a bit of fun. I certainly need to be doing it. We're up to about 1.5 minutes. We haven't been doing your actual plank challenge, but we do about a minute and a half at the moment. But I would love to be able to get up to 5 minutes. So maybe I'll do it too. But
make sure that you are looking after your back, because a few people haven't been. So make sure you really look after your back and do some good stretching with it. And when I get really tired, like I want to give up, I just move side to side. So I'll go to a side plank position and then go to the other side.
Good tip.
And that takes a bit of pressure off the back as well. But if everyone wants to, start it on the 1st of the month, 1st of April, because then it's easy to follow. You go, what am I up to? Oh, today's the 28th of March. It's day 28 today. So it's really, really good.
Perfect.
Yeah. So if anyone does want to reach me, I have got a website as well. So I've got my website's juliemfitness.co.nz, and I've got a Facebook page. So you're more than welcome to flick me a message through Facebook, Julie M Fitness, or go onto my website, and that'll link through to my contact details as well, or give me a call.
That's fantastic, Julie. That's really fantastic. And again, we'll put all of those details so that people have sat here and listened to you and gone, oh my goodness, I could really do with some help, because, you know, whether it's they've got someone that's old in their life, or they're just that they want some help with someone that isn't in a gym, or whether they are coming out of having children, anything might have resonated with them in our conversation today. We'll put all your details in the comments so that people can connect with you directly. And thank you so much for your time, Julie. It's been really, really awesome to connect and chat. I'm really, really pleased to hear that you've found a way to adapt your business to still help people keep moving and stay healthy and well during this time. And I really do appreciate your time joining us today.
Thank you, Hazel. I'm so appreciative of you doing this. It's a real honour to be a part of this and to get to know you. As we discovered, we knew each other before we actually knew each other. So yeah. No, it's really very much for letting me be a part of it.
That's really awesome.
Happy to answer anyone's questions. If people have got questions about anything, I'm happy to do that free of charge as well.
That's awesome. People can even put some comments in below this video. We are, when the video goes up live, where I'll make sure that you're tagged, like your business is tagged into it, so then they can put some comments. If they've got any questions, they can also put comments below this interview, and then either myself or yourself can respond to those as well. So yeah, and look, it's I'm doing this because I just really want to help people stay in a positive mindset through this time. I know there's a lot of people that are just going overwhelmed, then they just, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, I now need to be a teacher for my children, I can't leave the home, and lots of negative talk and negative language around how they're feeling. And if we can provide them with just a little bit of positivity and some ideas just to change their perspective on things, and that actually I can get outside, I might be only able to go around the lawn, but I can still go and do that. And just sort of reframing and refocusing people a little bit so that they can stay in a really great mindset through this time, because, you know, none of us know how to deal with this. This is completely uncharted territory for everybody. So yeah, so if we can bring and collaborate with everybody, connect all these people together, I just think that's a really, really neat thing to do. So yeah, again, thank you so much for joining us, and tune in next time, everybody, for the next interview with another health and wellness guru, where they will share their information with you as well. Thanks very much for joining us.